I'm sure everyone here agrees that every life is precious. So I'm not prepared to lose a life. As you will tell, I was a very bad loser. But I learned from my losing. But I will not accept loss of life. It's not acceptable. And then everyone says, oh, you're becoming too passionate. Who feels it knows it, agreed? Someone here will have had loss. We handle it in different ways. But if we're going to accept, got on the news yesterday, another teenager, I hadn't heard about that one, so I'm even more angry. Yes, I get very emotionally invested. But that's because I've been doing it for 28 years plus. And I'd like to see something look like what we all had. I think there's enough intergenerational experiences and stories that all suggested that we had the ability to enjoy and be inspired and given life, experience and wisdom. That's all we're trying to do here. There's nothing complicated. So why is it so bloody hard? It should not have to be as we've had to do this morning. It should be natural. But it isn't, so we've got to replace it. And we've got to accept where we are. What I'm wanting to establish, because I'm here to say to you, when did we get here, Janice? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
All right, the outside has been in Brom, West Midlands, for 4 days. I'm absolutely clear now, and I had my role at Birmingham 2022 last February. I'm absolutely clear what needs to happen. And everyone here has confirmed, if every single one of you gave 2 hours of your time in how we move forward, because it will not be a me, it will be a we, a collective we. And we can change the world for the communities that are young people here. And for me, on July 28th, every single young person of the Commonwealth can watch these games. That's what I wanted. Opening ceremony, 100 metres, closing ceremony, anything they want to watch. Why not? It's their games. But they won't be able to come here. But we've got means in which we can do that. I might have some copyright issues and license, they're going to give me all this nonsense. But it's amazing you go to a football match, film it, put it onto YouTube. We're going to do it the right way. And there's a UN Youth Index. And there's a Sustainable Development Goals. We're going to work within the framework, but we're going to do it in a way that we feel is traditionally, but within the innovation that's available to us. Right. This has got to be the right thing to do. There's one thing that anything you've heard or participated in is the wrong thing to do. You've given me the most valuable thing you could have done, your time. I said to give me my money is to give me my what? To give me my time is to give me my life. So what I'm after is a commitment. Because all of this will go on to that single, and we're putting all of our focus into the Birmingham campus. Because as Mike will tell you, and by the way, Mike, Chief Executive Sport England, Tim Ryan said, what would Mike Chamberlain say about all this? And I said, ask him. I'm not going to tell you, ask him. I'm confident enough. Because every single one of you are now invested in this. Every single one of you. The Wolverhampton Brotherhood reminded me of what is possible when they say black men cannot do anything positive. But isn't it interesting we say black men? We all bleed red. I've watched a black issue become a societal issue. It has gone beyond the black community. So, sport and the arts and culture, the vaccine and the antidote, but how we treat this problem will require every single one of us. There's a social, a cultural, and an economic requirement. So what I'm looking for is a commitment. By all of your details, you will be invested, because this will all be written up, and then we'll begin the journey. A continued journey. I'm going to continue banging on the doors of power. By the way, the government is aware of this workshop. They've been sent the details of this workshop. But the difference is, when I next go in there, I won't be going in there on my own. There are a number of reasons for that. It's up to you. I've just decided. This isn't an individual event, is it? It's a team event. We went as a Great Britain squad, and we conquered the world. It was diverse, but we all had something in common. We all had a social starting block in life that was of disadvantage and disaffection. I'm going to wind it, because there is a good spirit. Is everybody invested? Oh, by the way, there is nothing compelled here. I kid you not. If you've contributed to this part of the journey, I've learned I know what my life commitment is. I'm on this world, this earth, to help the youth. That's it. That's Geoff Thomas' agenda. There are no politics. There's a reality check. But what I'm saying is, if you want to invest, and you don't have to embarrass yourself now, you can think about it, you can contemplate it, but this will happen, because guess what? To not do so is not even worth contemplating. This is not an embarrassment. Every time I do this, I'm given a very humble reminder, because the action learning scenarios are real. There's a real consequence and outcome. And I have that story to try and inspire you and take us to a humble place. Marlon, could you come out, please? Seems embarrassing. But it and wives are so intuitive. My wife always brings me to a humble place. Stories change lives. I'll support you to tell your story. It's deep.
So I'm the founder of WeGo Outside Too. My name is Marlon Patrice. I founded WeGo Outside Too in 2020. The reason I started this organisation is because my son passed away. He was a teenager in January 2020. I was just using nature to help me, and the whole organisation is to bring the community together, and also just showing out, going outdoors in nature heals, and this is why it is just trying to just get the youth out into nature and just look for alternative means instead of just being. Thank you. Thank you.
If a life is priceless, this is not acceptable. If a life is valuable, it is unacceptable. Don't anyone go away from here and do not understand that. Do not appreciate that. Go and hug your young. Be appreciative of them. Love them. If you're not speaking to a young person, every single day, when you walk past one of them, they might think you're mad. Check them, nod. What's happening? How's it going? Talk to them. Believe it or not, ask a young person if an adult spoke to them recently. Ask a young person if the words of please, thank you, and sorry have ever been uttered to them. And we want to know why they don't use those words. They've never had it used to them. This really is basic stuff. But I'm humbled, and I'm just reinvigorated as to why I do this, and why I will continue to do this, and why I will not accept loss. We nearly lost our elders. There's my vested interest, not conflict. He thankfully will fulfill his potential. He wasn't disadvantaged, he became disaffected, because society told him he wasn't worth anything. We're not good about young people in this country, by the way. We're the only nation without a youth ministry. That's what we're campaigning for as well. It's important. But we know we can get our politicians now, because I know how we can find them. And we will find them, and we will challenge them, and we will get a bill in Parliament. So these are big ideas, but they're not unachievable. So if you've not lost or know someone directly or indirectly, you're blessed. We're 10 minutes over. Matt, you're the host.
To Geoff and to everybody, thank you for asking us to host this, but also thank you to all of you for your contribution today, including the most humbling last time we heard there. I think it's really clear what they ask us. As Geoff said, when we've talked actually quite a few times, like, I'm not quite sure where this is going. And I actually said to some of my colleagues this morning, I'm not quite sure where this is going. but isn't that a parallel universe to where actually a lot of our youth are at? Well, they're not sure where it's going either. So they're not sure what's coming down the digital pipes of them. So I think the call to action is actually relatively straightforward. And actually, if we put our collective minds to this, then there is a way forward, including from what we heard in that video as well, as we will walk through what that framework looks like. So, thank you. It's a real privilege to host. I'm sure that there's much more work that we can all take away from this, but also, really, and we say this a lot in the sort of education and the courses that we do within a professional services environment. It's what you do next week with what you've heard this morning and what you've contributed to this morning. And so, nobody's going to come and ask you, nobody's going to come and tell you what to do, but there is enough, I think, in what's been said that everybody individually has now some tools, some inspiration from the conversations, and a framework to take forward a contribution to make a difference. And bluntly, as an organisation, you don't need to know, but actually make a difference is one of our core values. So a real privilege to host. Thank you very much.
All of this will be pulled together in a very quick turnaround. We will share it with you. You, in turn, I hope, will embark on a continued journey with us. There are some exciting plans. There's lots of conversations being contributed by lots of people from the Birmingham, West Midlands, Wolverhampton, Coventry, but there is a broader impact to other communities in major cities of this country and in the Commonwealth. It has to be about that. So I just want to personally thank every single one of you. And I hope that we can continue this journey. As the late Mandela said, vision without action is but a dream. Action without vision is merely passing time. Vision with action can change the world. That is the driver of everything that I do. Because when they said it was impossible, by the way, he was a boxer, he was a warrior, he had a doctor that was a karate black belt, and that's how we did the real quiet work. And by the way, a lot of things that you do will be quietly impactful. You may equally be vilified, you might be criticised, you might be given a hard time. If that is the case, you're doing the right thing. If you're not, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place. And as I say, if you want to stay young, stay with the young'uns. God bless. Second.